You are not a reactor to life any longer, you are a creator with life. If I could give you one advice to move through and master any phase in your life, let it be emotional maturity. Let it be that emotional queendom in which you are creating a place where you are safe, you're mature, and you are responding to life, you're creating with life instead of reacting to it. So any phase, going from being socially awkward or feeling social anxious into feeling super confident and super comfortable in situations, going from feeling that you do not have anyone in which you feel that you feel at home in that person's like space, and feeling that you have so loving and so just like resonating relationships around you. This might be in the way that you feel support. This might be in the way that you feel self-worth. It doesn't matter in which phase you are going through at this moment. Let emotional maturity lead you the way. Because when it comes to anchoring your future self, when it comes to ground your future self, you need to be grounded and anchored in your emotions. This is where you create your future self frequency and you invite your future self into the present, so to say. You have to be able to feel how it feels to be that person, how it feels to have what it is that you want for yourself. That's why it's super important that we're also in tune with our own emotions and understand that. So this has not always been the case for me, of course. I grew up being a person who needed to be extremely attuned to other people's emotions and reading the room. I was also constantly told that I'm too sensitive, I'm oversensitive. And on top of that, I also dealt with a lot of different ups and downs. On top of that, I just felt super awkward for being the person who could cry in social spaces or in open spaces at workplaces or whatever, because I felt overwhelmed or because there was something that I moved through. And people are start to ask me like, is it something wrong with her? Is she depressed? Like, yeah, many times I were, so thank you for asking. But it was also because my nervous system wasn't regulated. I grew up having a dysregulated nervous system in which I didn't know, so I did the best that I could from that moment. Okay, so when I started to actually see that things are turning out great for me in my life, when I start to see a big change, when, the 180 that I usually talk about, when I did this 180 and when I've done like major, major life changes and major life upgrades after that as well, has always been because I come into a new level of emotional mastery. And this has been like when I really start to see that I can create my reality, was when I just did that. I created my reality with my emotions instead of reacting to a reality and seeing the same old patterns, the same old relationships, the same old situations appear and repeat itself all over again. Hear me out. You cannot receive anything from the external world if you haven't created it for yourself at first. That's why we're always talking about that you are the creator of your reality. If there is a new level of wealth, if there is a new level of love, if there is a new level of abundance, if there is a new level of peace, whatever it is that you want to attract in, you need to hold that energy. You need to create that energy and you need to know how it feels for you. You need to be the one who feels that, how does it really feel to receive kindness from me? How does it feel to receive this savage energy from me? How does it feel to really receive this high value energy from me? This is what you have to implement in your life in order for you to call in your next life, your future self energy as well. It's really about creating that emotion, and it's not about creating that emotion due to that result. It's really, really, really creating that emotion due to that we want to really feel more love. We want to really feel more genuine connections. We really want to feel more of success, whatever it is, right? And so when we are creating that within and we're giving that to ourselves in different situations, then and only then is when we can start to also receive it back from the external world and start to see that, because we know how it is to receive it. Until we don't know how it is, how it feels to receive it, we will always repel it. I grew up with a very low self-esteem. I was criticizing myself, and I had such a difficulty to receive compliments and understanding that, people could like me, or people, guys maybe would want to date me and stuff like that. It took me a very long time to understand if someone did have an interest or whatever it was. I created so many different stories in my mind. And so I wasn't able to receive that because I wasn't actually able to give that to myself. So it didn't matter how many times someone gave me a compliment, I couldn't give that to myself. So I couldn't feel that emotion either. So this has been the truth for me in any stage, in any phase of my life. And I always feel that I'm getting like even more so into this emotional queendom whenever I am stepping into a new phase in my life. When you're carrying the embodiment of her, when you're carrying that emotion, that feeling, you're also so much more likely to kind of release the other feelings around it. It becomes natural. So if you feel fear in a certain situation, if you feel or hold on to grudge, or you hold on to some level of jealousy, judgment, when you are carrying love, when you are carrying consideration, when you're carrying a good judgment, when you're carrying understanding, then is when the other kind of emotions, they naturally like float away, they naturally fall away, as I usually say. So this is so lovely, and this is so like nice actually, because you don't really actually need to focus so much of how do I go through and work out this fear. Instead, it's just like, how do I let this fear move through me, and I transmute it, and then it becomes something else. When you are in that mastery, wow, your life really changed to the better. So this is, of course, it depends on where you are on your journey. I can't sit in a video like this and tell you exactly what you're supposed to do at this point of time. Sometimes you need to go through and learn how to deal with triggers. Some other times you maybe have something in where you have to learn how to feel more emotionally safe, speaking up more, feeling that you can speak your opinion, so to say, or feeling comfortable in other people's company. Like it can be a little bit different from what phase you're in, what shows up in your life, but that's why we need to be this emotionally intelligent. That's why we need to really create with our emotions and feelings, because then we can also know what will guide us. We can also know what will help us through this phase in which we are living through. But I would say like this, where to begin? Where can you begin? At all levels, wherever you are on your path, wherever, in whatever situation that you are living through right now, start with journaling. Okay, if you really don't like journaling, if journaling doesn't work for you, see if there is something else that is very similar to journaling and what it gives. But journaling truly gives you clarity. It is a way to help you track your progress. It is a help to release. It is a super, super, super abundant tool for activating yourself, for attracting, calling in a new reality. It is a way and a space for you to talk with your future self. Like journaling really gives you the clarity, the release, the ease, and also the activation in which you need for the next stage. And this is also a way how you can really create this safe space with your emotions. So whatever you are in your situation, journaling is really the way to go. And you can just start to journal on the feeling of, what feeling is it that I want to invite at this moment? What do I believe would be a good feeling for me to have when it comes to my situation? So you can just start there, make it very simple. And then if you want to advance a little bit, then you can, okay, what do I want to call in the future? what is the representation of that feeling? That is where we really want to go. That is where we really want to kind of start with, right? But sometimes we may feel that we need to release something first, and then that kind of just anchoring to the very, very, very special moment that you're in right now can really help as well. That was everything for today. I will leave the links down below if you want to check out the Self-Devoted Playbook. This is a really great playbook to start with if you also want some help with the journaling practices and come to a closeness and go deeper when it comes to your emotions, so to say. Let me know what you think about this episode, and talk to you next time. Keep on listening to Within Talks.